I'm Brad Levitt, president of AFT Construction. Thank you for tuning into our YouTube channel today that is catered to builders, designers, architects, and honestly any small business owners. So make sure you hit that subscribe button below and give us any comments for any topics that you want us to address. In our last video, we spoke about what does a contractor do, and so what are you paying for when you hire a general contractor? So to piggyback off of that, why do GCs get a bad rap? Well, that's a great question, and I'll relate it right now to what we're dealing with some of our trade partners. So one of the biggest issues in construction is the communication or lack thereof. And one thing that really frustrates me as a builder is when I'm calling my trade partner who's I'm paying, who's I've hired to do this work, or my superintendent's calling them. They don't return calls, they don't communicate, they don't show up, they make commitments and they don't follow through. And so it's very frustrating. We have some projects now where we have certain finishes that have to be installed. And the issue is that these trade partners have work that's critical path. This is really important because we have other trades that follow them and are waiting on them. And so they're affecting not only us as the builder and our clients, but also other trades trying to perform. So in construction, the reason contractors get a bad rap, one of the biggest things is the lack of communication. Either we don't pick up the phone, or we don't respond, we don't return voicemails, we don't return texts or emails. This project is a project in North Scottsdale, and the reason we were hired, actually the client had gone down the road to hire another builder, and the client's out of state, they're not here local, they're from the Midwest, and the original builder that they'd engaged with wouldn't return emails and phone calls, and the homeowner's like, well, if I'm not there in person to visit this person and they're not going to pick up their phone now, at the dating stage, at pre-construction, this is going to be an issue when it's time to build a house. And so they ended up terminating that relationship, and they hired us at AFT. And one of the reasons is that every time they reached out, we communicated back. And the thing is, not every communication is good news. Not everything goes perfectly as we'd hope in construction, especially in a market and an industry that's very labor driven. But as long as we're communicating that process, and we're just as guilty as a lot in the sense that, there's schedules that aren't hit, and there's a lot of reasons, either fault of our own, fault of our trade partners, changes from our client. These are moving pieces, and so there are things that come up. But as long as we're there and present, and the homeowners know that they can contact us, there's an emotional connection there that's really important. So that's part of it. And then from an integrity side, we're all in business to make a profit, as our clients are in business to make a profit. We all go to work in hopes to earn a living for our family. But how do we convey that? If we commit to something, are we honoring that? Are we being ethical with our clients? If something should be in the plans and scope, are we holding to that and building it as we've agreed to do and contracted to do? And so are we taking deposits and then not performing? These are things that really drive our clients. It causes a lot of frustration and anger with them. So it's really important that we understand the value of the investment they're making, that there is some integrity in the contract, that we've done our due diligence as far as researching the project and the scope, and make sure we have our ducks in a row and everything bid, and then of course communicate and answer those questions. So if you can do those two things as a builder, you're going to be one step up already to the competition. There was a statistic that said only 10% of builders get repeat business from their clients, which is pretty small. And so you think about that, how important it is to be that top 10% where we're doing a good enough job the first time that the client hires the second time. So think about that, and of course, let's try to change the industry so that we all give each other a better rap.